Pause for edits. No edits. It's just thinking.
Fuck it, we'll do it
Hi.
live.
Hello. Welcome back to Starfall, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure featuring the Lasers and Liches 2.5 supplement, which you can find on DriveThruRPG, and there are links down in the doobly-doo about it. There's also links to our main Game Breakers page if you want to check that out and all the other things we got going on, like pirates and airships and maybe Shadowrun. I don't actually remember if there's going to be Shadowrun or not, but there's definitely ships and ships and ships and ships. So if you ship it, hi. When last we left our folks who are players,
Protagonists.
people making interesting decisions for the good of the story. They had just we'd had a little off time where they celebrated the NPC Roz's. Anyone remember what birthday it was? How old she was?
20.
20. Allison, I cannot hear you.
It's because I was muted.
Oh, okay.
Aha.
20, which is it's very old for an Aarakocra. Interesting. And the sun set, and maybe there was a nap, but then they got back on the road because that's where I want it to be. While they are, it's been a couple weeks, folks. I'm sorry. While Friendly was casting the rituals for the Tensor's Disc and the Steed, a parakeet arrived and asked after Empress. Seems that Empress has a meeting she has to go to with a more local band of the Animal the Creature Syndicate. I name things.
Thing.
Then I don't remember them. With the Creature Syndicate to get more information about Seal World, which is one of the locations these groups are heading to. So she bids farewell and says she'll catch up with this group in the town of Roytford and flies away with the parakeet. That is the thing that happened. Your new friend Habit, with the worst Santa Claus sack ever, just headed off down the road while you all were birthdaying. Was very happy to do that. But I'm sure you'll catch up with him. So, anyone doing anything before y'all just get back on the road?
Does Roz go back into the box?
She is caked out. Roz is asleep in the box. Caked and pizzaed out. That's right. There was pizza. So much pizza.
I will do some stretching.
I'm pulling up some documents to read along the way. Historical records, star charts.
Interesting. Anything for you, Tuesday?
If Roz is safe in the box, I'm just waiting to assume my sniper position.
All right. Well then, continuing on the path to the road to Roytford. Where is the map? There is a reason I put it on there so I didn't have to do it myself. Wrong one. Oh my goodness. If I can open the right one, this will be great. There we go. Yes?
Once we get the horse and trailer up and running, I will cast Guiding Hand to go to the Roytford Hospital.
Okay, so it's going to aim directly there.
Yeah, it's just a little like video game hand like pointing to the objective.
It's a HUD. You have a HUD.
Yep.
It's all very crazy taxi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I pictured.
All right. Well, off you go. Along the Subvista Pass, just, I'd say galloping along, but it's more like engine noises
Motoring.
or clopping. I kind of want it to just occasionally play some synthwave.
Crazy money with crazy taxi.
It's not terribly
I-
long.
I would say that in place of a whinny, it has a synthwave beat and a riff.
I'd even take an 80s hair guitar riff. You know, be great.
Except it comes out the back.
Hey. I know where Tuesday is. Where's everyone else? On the moving machine and stuff. It is also currently dark in the box. It is not daylight in the box. It's
For the first time.
for the first time.
And what time of day is it outside?
Good God, I have so lost track of the days with you guys. We're just gonna move 24 hours. I think we were at late afternoon, so you're going to get into this is now like early evening.
Okay. Is there room to ride outside of the box?
You could ride the horse. I wouldn't suggest riding the disc. You
Yeah.
plus the box is right along the edge of its carrying capacity limit. And if you were to say pick something up, or if someone else wanted to leave the box,
At
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, I guess I will hang out in the box. And
Chase fireflies?
yeah, I was thinking of like doing calisthenics, do like some, push-ups, like do a little bit of jogging, jumping jacks, just like you need to stay fit.
It's important. Friendly?
I will be sitting on Sumasor's back while he does push-ups reading.
Excellent. I approve. So in that case, here we go. And
Thank you.
oh no, I forgot the name of your burb.
Rook.
Thank you.
And the
My
guiding
brain-
hand, I will triple check, should also function for Rook.
If not, we can establish that you do it when you're a little bit closer and you're out. So Tuesday and Rook are the ones who spy habit further along the road, walking down it, cartoonishly doubled over under the weight of the giant venom sac.
How far away is he?
How far can you see?
Yes.
That far.
Okay. I have
Like-
a really high perception and I'm using a scope. I can see for a while.
Yeah. So you see him before Rook does, and you're at the limit. You're like, oh yeah, that's probably him.
Okay.
Or there's some other Tabaxi struggling across the load. Probably not.
Not another one.
Whatever you do when you're close enough that Rook sees him, Rook will alert you. Friendly.
Mentally. Carry on.
I would have said something when I spotted him of like the dude is up ahead. I don't know what I'd call him. The guy with the venom sac is up ahead.
His name's Habit.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, you also have a field full of interesting wasp parts. Note.
Oh yeah, that grossness.
The fuck? Hold on.
She's disappeared into space. Oh, there she is.
Her
Oh, God.
phone was ringing, making sure it wasn't something important. It's a little late. And, well, is there anything you want to do before you catch up with him? Anyone? Well, you very quickly catch up with him.
Him and the sack isn't going to mess up the weight of the disc, right? We were carrying him before.
It's true.
Right?
We have never carried the venom sac, if I remember right.
He was holding it.
Oh, but not, yeah, as long as Sumasaur's not on the disc, there's no problem.
Right, okay. I'll just...
It's Sumasaur plus box plus anything else.
Yeah.
Right, I'm in the box, but that doesn't. But
No.
that doesn't add to it, right?
It's essentially a bag of holding. It doesn't add weight. So yeah, as we catch up to him, hi.
So, let me set this visual. He's walking a determined but not particularly fast walk because the thing he's carrying is not super light. He's been carrying it for, at this point, 4-ish hours, maybe 5. And you all are moving at how many feet per round?
200.
So,
Oh, God.
unless you slow down and stop, it's going to be
Right.
hi.
Yeah,
Doppler effect.
I didn't hear anybody say anything about that, so...
Ah!
No.
Yeah. So,
But okay, then before I forgot how fast we move on this thing. Once I see him, I would ask the bird, "Are we picking him up?"
Rook will give you a blank look, kind of like cock its head to one side.
I'm assuming you can communicate nod through him.
Rook can speak.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we have to.
That's pretty much my position, and you're driving. If you slow down, I can just...
Friendly will call out to everybody else. Do we have to? Are we going to pick up Habit? Are we going to pick up a Habit?
Once you pick one up, it's hard to shake it.
Wasn't he showing us somewhere?
We were.
Or no, he. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's the town that way. We know.
Yes.
Oh.
He's taking the organ to pay a debt to a hospital.
he
I mean-
owes a debt. He doesn't owe the debt to the hospital.
Oh, right. He. I mean, we offered him a ride, and then he took off on his own.
Yeah. I feel no obligation. But
I mean, it'd be kind of funny just to pass him, but you know.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
should
if he's-
probably though. I mean, it'd be the good thing to do.
Yeah,
he's not
like
waiting
I am fine either way, but Tuesday's trying very hard to be a team player.
Sumasaur says, yes, fine, let's pick him up. If somebody has to say it, I will say it.
all right, then he's your problem.
Because I'm Tabaxi, isn't it?
And we still blow by him, but then we stop.
Oh, I was gonna just like grab him on the way, like the ring on a carousel.
Oh, we'll give it a shot then. I will point out that he's carrying a giant Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, I don't have to lift him. I just have to shunt him.
Okay.
Also,
That's how I want to.
his balance right now probably sucks, so getting him to tip over should be real easy.
Do you have any reason for that not to be an athletics check?
I Nothing I do is athletics.
Not a reason.
Can we like sweep the leg? Can we like Tokyo drift and just catch him on the disc?
I would take acrobatics.
I would for the Tokyo drift thing, or for me having like me trying to push it. Which are we doing? Because the Tokyo drift thing makes more sense to me. Because then we wouldn't lose any momentum, or we would lose some, but not as much.
Either one of those could work as acrobatics. You can roll the dice and decide which one you do.
Well, if it's the drifting, that's steering the motorcycle, and that's Rook, not me.
Maybe I don't really understand what you're saying then.
I'm saying like because the bike is dragging this low floating disc with the box on it, and we're going straight. I'm saying we just like swerve to the side and sweep the leg Johnny and just catch him on the disc and keep going.
We're going to be so far past him by the time you get done explaining that to Rook.
That would require Rook to make a conveyance handling check. Yeah. It wouldn't be animal handling, it would be conveyance handling. So, like not ship handling.
How big is Rook? Like what size are we talking here?
Small.
Regular size Raven.
In
Tiny
my head,
creature.
Steering a motorcycle? That's skill.
Despite the fact that it's a regular size Raven, my head totally had it as Hyacinth Macaw size, just like enormous.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's standing like on the chrome horse head with like a talon on each ear, and is just. I mean, it's still a horse.
I could jump on the bike behind him and just real quick scoop up the guy and then go back to my perch.
You could.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's still gonna be the riding handling. I'll take riding or any sort of conveyance thing that has any sort of speed, but tool check basically.
Which is what when you don't have that?
Well, you have the tool.
I mean,
you have the tool.
It is a horse for all intents and purposes as for the spell.
Okay. I don't have any ride skill.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's all going to be just picking a stat. like.
Yep.
I mean, this sure sounds like dexterity.
I'll take dexterity, sure.
So just dex plus dice roll? Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
17.
Yes. Okay. Are you trying to do it without injuring him?
I mean, not too bad. If he gets some bruised shins.
Okay, in that case, you were successful. So would you like to describe the ridiculousness of this?
We've been motoring along with Rook steering, and I'm kind of behind him, just like sniper lookout style. I see the Catman up ahead of us. We have that little conversation, and once we get, I don't know, 50 feet out from him, I just cat jump, hop up onto the bikes. Excuse me for a second, and Tokyo drift, and swing the back of this conveyance, and just take him out at the ankles, and he flops back onto the disc. Kind of landing on the sack like it's a beanbag chair, and just sort of like flails there. I straighten out our path, shake off any weird momentum we had going, and then I just thanks, and then climb back to my perch and like barely glance to have it. Hey.
What?
Did you say why?
He said what?
What?
That.
We said we'd give you a ride.
I thought I was getting I thought I was getting swooped up by some, I don't know,
You didn't hear
pterodactyl,
you didn't hear
something.
the bike coming? It's
I
not
may have been
stealthy.
I was having a conversation with my no, it's not. No, I wasn't.
You okay?
Yep. What were you all? Really, a kid's birthday party lasts that long? Whatever. Thank you for the ride. It's nice to see you again. How are you doing? Thanks for saving me. Hi, how's it going?
I am through the scope this whole time, just to be clear. He's talking to someone who's on duty, so it's just like
You said
out the side of my yes. I'm on
this.
poop.
This. So this is the kind of character who chuckles at duty. So I'm just putting it up. Where's your?
They're in the box.
Where's there in the box?
Everyone but me and the bird is in the box.
Okay.
We're
Well,
we're headed to town. We should be there shortly.
you're nearly there, and you can indeed see on your horizon the not, it's not skyscrapers, but there's a couple of 2 or 3-story buildings, but there's definitely a township that way. Maybe there's some more fields that have growing stuff. Ignore me.
I can't. Otherwise, there's not a world.
Yeah.
You do notice more fences like that aren't going across the water specifically. Not the land, but are bisecting the river itself.
Okay, so like water crops.
Well, not yet, but right now there's just fences. Considering
Right.
what was in the water ahead of time, it would make sense that they're trying to protect something.
Okay, gotcha.
And as you get much closer to town, the traffic picks up dramatically. And Rook will start alerting you to various people and things moving around, but it's folks, you've got folks fishing, you've got folks moving stuff from one place to another, and you start having small hovels and maybe a little maybe calling it a storefront might be a little hard, but you could probably find bread there. And it is leading into evening at this point. Habit is napping on top of the box, so this should be fun.
Well, GPS is going to the hospital.
It is. Okay. So if everyone's just staying in their positions for the GPS direction. So Tuesday, Roytford is the word you might think of is hamlet. It actually seems, considering the other places you have been, it seems older somehow. Not like it's been around longer, but like it's stuck in an older time. Like it's
like Williamsburg.
Yeah, a little bit like Williamsburg. That's a really, really good one. Good analogy. It
Thank you.
smells strongly of wet here.
Like Williamsburg, but waterlogged.
Things don't appear moldy or gross or anything, but it definitely smells wet, and there's a amount of humidity in the air. As you come into the town, the big there's a clear delineation about when it becomes the town, and it's not exactly a wall, but it's like suddenly there are houses and streets.
Right.
You know,
The town
You know-
knows where it is.
the town knows where it is.
Yeah.
You notice as you're swiveling. I'm sure you're
Mhm.
do you still have your scope out, or are you just swiveling with yourself now?
Now that we're in town, it's the like perimeter sweep.
Okay. So as your perimeter sweep, the road seems to continue straight through the town, continuing to cut south. To the east of the town, no, that's not the direction, Diamond. Diamond's gonna look at the map and make sure she says this right so she doesn't have to try to re-say it wrong later. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Okay. So the river goes away from the town and circles around it as you come around and into the town, almost directly from the west. On the east side of town, it sort of slopes up, and there are some fancy houses up there. Let's just go with like, oh look, there's where the rich people live. It's very obvious. And there is one that is a bit apart from the others and looks distinctly decrepit. The town like slopes down and becomes kind of poorer as you move a little further away from that hill. So it's a jelly drop away from the water. I don't know why jelly drop, honestly. The your guide arrow is sending you to the hospital, which is almost straight ahead of you. It seems to be pretty squarely a middle of town thing. On your way through, you pass through a square that is the burgeoning shop center. You're basically speeding through a farmer's market. You Can you roll me a nature check?
Me?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was a 2 or an 18 just from the angle I was looking at it.
Well, which was it?
It was an 18, but I might add something to that. 19.
Woo.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of water vegetables. There's a lot of water vegetables here.
Mm-hmm.
And there seems to be a delineation between water vegetable things and everything else. Stuff that grows in water, stuff that grows on land, or maybe doesn't grow in this area at all. And there are some stalls that seem like they've been there for quite a while, and some that are more set up, take down at the end of the night.
Okay.
The people here, like, while there's definitely a poor, there don't seem to be people who are impoverished. You don't see street urchins. You don't see, you don't see any beggars. You don't see any disease.
Okay.
And eventually you arrive.
They're not necessarily in crisis. They're just not rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little like the scene in Beauty and the Beast when she's walking through the town. The
Talking
provincial
about
life.
how boring everyone is.
Yeah, but everyone's kind of a little bit rotund. Very cheerful.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got a glass of sherry. Seems like a pretty nice place.
Belting with perfect clarity how everyone she can see sucks.
I need to write that song for Eureka. Anyway, and you eventually arrive at the hospital. It is on your right, and the horse stops. It's like, and we've arrived at the hospital. The building looks distinctly different than all of those around it. Are you familiar with like Soviet brutalism?
Yes.
There you go. That's the hospital. Yeah. Except it's pink. It's like the like not a My Little Pony pink, but like a Pepto-Bismol pink. Or maybe off-brand Pepto-Bismol.
Like it might just be
please
the color
remain calm pink.
Yes.
It's Nurse Scrubs pink.
Drunk tank pink. We're all talking about the same pink.
Yeah. Let's keep saying pink.
This episode brought to you by the song Pink. Don't look that up. Anyway.
Shout out in middle school to when I realized that that was not about the color pink. That song. Pink.
Yeah.
A plus.
I got to explain to someone what the Love and Spoonful is referencing. Anyway. So hospital.
You've arrived.
I'm
Habit.
assuming the bird is telling them that we've arrived.
Yes. I am assuming that too. Habit when you stop suddenly, jolts awake, was napping, and goes, "Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, madame." Overly dramatically bows to you, reaches out for your hand. Is your hand reachable?
No.
Doesn't seem to faze him too much, blows you a kiss, and waltzes inside.
He is such a milady dude, and I hate it so much.
By waltzes, you mean lumbers under the weight of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely an attempt to walk jauntily, but that doesn't work well with the. Oh, all right.
He jauntily falls on his ass when he tries to lift this thing.
So the doors to this place are also this like heavy metal with like not there aren't visible push bars, but you can push them and they'll open, and they have no windows. So he just backs his way through with the thing and then continues right on through, and you catch a glimpse of like, let's say, limestone floors and oddly pale light. Who hates hospitals? Excellent.
Friendly is just gathering up papers off of the workspace that is the giant back of Sumasaur. As 1,450.
Yeah. Using the
Uh,
thumbtack seems kind of mean, but
makes him tougher. So I'm looking. By the way, he was looking for specific correlations with this day 20 years ago. But we can roll that later if there are none, or
I want to yes and you, but I'm gonna need a minute, so that may have to be an answer after the break.
Yeah, I definitely snuck that one right in with no warning. So, hey, you have some exposition just ready to dump? No? Oh, stunning. That's okay.
I might have some exposition ready to dump, but I might also have to check my notes. But right now you're at a hospital.
Yeah, he is preparing to head in.
In front of the front doors. Which, if it takes you more than 10 minutes to get put together and get out of the box, at some point, someone was trying to exit and says, "Excuse me," to you.
Well, it doesn't take much time. It won't take 10 whole minutes unless everybody else needs to take a potty break or something. But
I also wouldn't be blocking the doors to a hospital.
Okay, you would shift the machine. Okay, good.
I wouldn't have parked in the doorway. That's just.
There seems to be carriage parking along to the side and other vehicles, but you notice there are in fact carriages. Town that time forgot.
Have I seen anyone freaked out by the weird shit that is us?
Did you slow down when you were going through town?
No, but I'm very observant.
No. As far as adults go.
I mean, I wasn't the one driving, but I would hope we slow down a little bit because we're going through residential.
I mean, maybe you guys just Assassin's Creed it and just like run right through the NPCs. I don't.
But we're a motorcycle with a trailer.
If they're allies, we can pass through their square with no consequences.
We're not allies yet.
You didn't have people like you definitely got some double takes, but not some like, oh my god, I've never, no one's treating you like an eldritch terror or like a falling star.
The people that are staying at Frankenstein Castle tonight.
This is a common tactic for the local raiders.
Like, this looks weird, but this doesn't look so weird that I need to write a diary entry about it.
Yeah. It's not the first time they've seen somebody not from here.
Right.
Oh, look, adventurers.
Yeah.
They are definitely like, there's initial like, oh, well, that's different. When you see a rainbow colored RV going down the road, you're going to take a second look, but it's not that weird.
They're not freaked out by the machinery.
They are not freaked out by the machinery.
Terrific. Just making sure we didn't end up in the town from Footloose.
And I've never even watched Footloose, but I also know exactly what you're referencing. I'm proud of myself. Anyway.
Next, we'll be dancing.
So Rook will take the rig to the parking area and keep an eye.
Cool. Everyone else?
Friendly is headed in.
I am backing up Friendly.
I will too.
Okay.
Assuming is Roz staying in the box, or are we taking her with us?
It's still nighttime in the box. Roz is still out.
Cool. Then yeah, I'll be Friendly's backup.
It's also at this point kind of early evening. It's like 7 o'clock-ish. Maybe 6,
Should we leave someone at the box? Because I could stay.
Rook is here.
They also can't get in, right? They can't get into the...
Well, they could certainly try, but without saying the proper obeisance, things would go poorly.
And Chessman is there.
Exactly. We have several layers of work, and we're not planning to just camp out in the hospital.
How often do you plan to camp at a hospital? You just end up there.
So a wolf-faced priest of the code, a enormous Saren sumo wrestler, and a slight but badass Tabaxi bounty hunter, burner hunter.
A Blade Runner cat lady.
A Blade Runner cat lady. Enter Soviet bloc hospital.
Stop me, you've heard this one.
What's your marching order?
Friendly can, but unless someone goes ahead of Friendly, he's happy. This isn't a dungeon situation.
I am in backup muscle position. I am second row off to the side.
Okay. Sumo, are you the caboose? Okay. Well
Jump in
then.
the truck.
So you press open the doors and are immediately hit with the smell of astringent. And all of you that can smell better, it smells like astringent and cloth bandages and plasma. Like very hospital-y smell. There's clearly this kind of waiting area in the front where there are these stone benches set up, and there's a couple of people on them. There is a a lady and a child that are probably parent and child, and there is a really sick orc or a short half orc. You're not entirely sure, you know. You don't really look, sitting somewhere else. There's a table that has a wooden based wire tool or wire toy on it with all these little with the balls that you slide over the thing.
Is habit?
Visible.
Yeah.
No. Habit is not visible. Already in.
But
There is a Yep. There is sitting at a low stone table on the other side of this sort of benched room with a clipboard is another tabaxi. Same kind, also gray, could be Habit's twin, dressed, well, in a little bit like a Habit.
mm-hmm.
No line or anything.
No line or anything.
By the
Good day.
those wire things with the moving wooden balls. When you build a hospital, one just manifests in your waiting room.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Good. Are you clearly dressed as a priest, Thomas? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a holy symbol out.
Okay.
He wears, cleric-y robes, mix and matched with armor.
Okay. So, good afternoon, traveling father. We don't have any need for religious services here, if that's what you're here for, unless of course somebody's called you.
Not at the moment. No, I am here with habit.
Uh, so because of the white sort of headpiece that she's wearing, you can't really see her ears, but you're pretty sure they just laid back.
I can probably read it just because we know our own kind of
Yeah.
I can see how her
I have a stupid high insight. It's
Like little bit more toothier, like, oh, really?
indeed. He's well, we saved his life along the road and were responsible for him fulfilling his bounty. And, well, he didn't tell us which room to meet him in.
She is so frustrated that finding words is clearly, and she's trying so hard to keep that like polite customer service
Mhm.
at a hospital presence. Just like we thought it was a little too good to be true that he was able to fulfill his debt alone. He is in R&D, which is in the basement. If you'll sign in here, I can get you visitor badges and you can go catch him.
Excellent. Thank you. I am new in town. Who amongst your staff would you say is the most learned?
I'm not sure that I understand the question. We have several clerics, we have several doctors, we have an arcanist. We have a fairly decent hospital for our region, sir. Learn it in
Excellent.
what way?
Well, you've just listed several. I'd love names, perhaps office numbers.
She gestures to the wall, and there is a list of all the
A
people with letters
directory.
after their names and their offices.
Excellent. Point me to the ones that you think are the smartest.
I couldn't do that, sir, because they're all very intelligent in different
I-
areas.
I cast Detect Thoughts.
She's a little frustrated that you're asking this kind of question because it's such bullshit. Like, she's not going to send you to Bartholomew Dibble Blossoms because he's kind of a paper pusher jerk who's just here because of whatever the equivalent of tenure is. But there are multiple people who have some pretty incredible things. And the fact that you're just going, who's the smartest one in the room? She thinks this is a stupid question.
He didn't say one. He said there are fields who are the smartest, and like seeing who is now like at the surface of her thoughts, he's just like, that one, that one, that one. Thank you. An arcanist, a doctor, and the what was the other one? She's
an arcanist, a doctor, and you're also going to hit a researcher.
Perfect.
Somebody who's in there doing. I'm going to use like modern terms because it's going to help me, but don't guarantee that that's the terms that the characters will use.
Yeah.
But biologist, researcher.
Okay. One of the overworked, underpaid job title does not reflect responsibility and usefulness type of people.
More like you have the people providing service and the people doing research.
Got it.
This is one of the people doing research. The doctor and arcanist are both people who are providing service.
He's the guy working on a paper that'll come out in 10 years if he's lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I just wait for the visitor badge.
Certainly. She gets each of you to sign in, and it's a, like, name, birth date, reason for being here.
Does she check it after we sign it?
She does so that she can write your visitor badge.
Does she mind that I only put a first name?
Mononyms are not terribly unusual in this world.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, not name, birth date, name, location.
Here.
Where are you from? If you write here, she's like, are you homeless?
So like name, place of origin,
Yeah.
reason for being here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What's the equivalent of Manhattan?
You can just put in the equivalent of Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can write the Lake Miramar. That is your closest Manhattan.
Whatever.
So yeah. She does check it so that she can write your visitor badge afterwards because it's all handwritten. And then puts it in a little envelope and pins it to your chest. Not your chest. Your clothes. Except in the case of Sumosaur, who is Sumosaur wearing a top?
I'm not.
Oh, hold on. And she rustles around in a drawer, or not a drawer, but like a little chest next to her for a minute, and finds a long, you swear to God this is a shoestring, and gives you a, puts it around your neck that way. There you go.
Great. Thank you.
So again, end of the hall, stairs, all the way to the bottom, R&D.
I was fully expecting masking tape.
I lost an opportunity, but it's fine. Shoelace. Okay.
And then we wander along.
And then you wander along. This floor, despite the strong smell of like that hospital smell, this floor seems to be mostly offices or locked doors. Offices and locked doors. This isn't patient treatment. That seems obvious. At the end of the hallway, there's another set of doors that take you into a stairwell, which is every like dark stairwell from every movie ever. Down to the basement, I assume.
Light.
When you cast your light, the stairwell lights up. It like a light spell on each step. Or something that isn't that will be a little blinding. Maybe next to them. But it's smarter than Diamond.
A light spell every like 15 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smarter than Diamond is. Down you go, I assume. Okay.
I mean,
Just stop me if you
unless
decide
we're
not.
gonna check for traps or something.
Like I just keep waiting for you to go, no, I'm gonna fuck off this direction. So
We start killing patients.
roll a new characters. Anyway.
Yeah.
What? Were you I didn't see. I just saw you do this. What happened?
Oh, sorry. I was doing one by one.
Oh.
I was mouthing it.
I was
Just
looking.
one room at a time. Boom. Boom.
Right, this is
Like
the dungeon, right? We got to
paperboy.
go clear it.
So, you walk down to the basement, and as you push open the door, Friendly, you can immediately hear someone yelling and cursing in Gnomish. Do any of you speak Gnomish?
I don't actually know. Hang on. No.
That's 2 characters in a row that you don't speak Gnomish for, David. It's so weird.
I'm branching out. What do you want from me?
Be a little tree.
My other character barely speaks, so it's
I'll stop at the door, take 60 seconds, and cast Comprehend Languages as a ritual.
Cursing sounds the same in every language, so even before that, you all are really aware. So he just stopped, and through the door, you all hear cursing. And then after about 60 seconds, it becomes a... Have you ever been the victim of physics?
every day.
You ever been the victim of chemistry?
Every day.
Sounds like this gnome was the victim of both. Like a cursing about a beaker stuck in his hand and trying to get this done and berating somebody clearly for not putting the thing away. Like, and it's just like one stream of very precise how dare yous that are both directed at some person and you know, the world in general.
I wonder if that person exists.
Yes, we'll find out. This hallway is well lit and much wider than the one upstairs, and it goes into there. There seem to be 2 closed rooms at the far end of this just like large rectangle floor plan. But the rest of it appears to be more cubicle-y, but like think cement cubicles. Open air design lab.
I am going to to collapse the detect thoughts into a suggestion. She should have made a wisdom save, by the way, but
Yeah.
to begin spreading the rumor of a powerful, handsome traveler from afar who has come to consult at the hospital.
Okay. Fun. And that's
Obviously, I mean me.
And that's at her upstairs, right?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So the cubicles seem to be in like there's 2 blocks of them, and you can see workstations. Some have more paper, some have more reagents and things, some have different bits. Like there's it's clearly a very like multi-projected laboratory, and the yelling and gnomish seems to be coming from the second cubicle set on your right, and you cannot see anyone there, but it's lit up. There's probably someone there. And as you're listening to this, at the far end, you see a door open on the left and Habit walk out, this time absolutely jauntily.
Seems like it all went well.
He spies you at the other end and waves and says, "Oh, why'd you come down here?" And you hear that cursing and gnomish aim at him, and a gnome, no surprise there, sort of darts out, but a whole different voice says, "Could you keep it down, Habit?" and slides back in. Just like yells.
Better come over here. Well, we hadn't gotten all the way around to your payment, if I remember right.
You're still standing in the doorway. So these other
Yeah, I
two
mean,
okay, cool.
yeah, we've.
How do you mean payment?
I mean, you remember the offer of value besides your gracious thanks.
I thought that the deal was that you all got the rest of the bits. The ride was nice.
Sumasaur,
Anyway.
is that what you remember?
Yeah.
But
you suck
since
at
you're
this.
but since you're such a helpful guy, I could introduce you to the person you probably want to give them to or sell them to or whatever. He's in a pretty good mood. Just got a bunch of venom.
But it doesn't seem like he likes you very much, Habit.
That's not. Those are two wholly different things.
I was just shooting fish in a barrel. And we've been past a trail of people who, when we say your name, make that little thing that primates do with their mouths.
Are you talking about Shari?
I didn't catch all their names.
She loves me. She just doesn't know me yet.
Would you call a Tabaxi a primate? Ah!
So it's very
my
clear,
head.
Thomas. The cubicle where the cursing is happening is not the door that Habit walked out of.
That's yeah.
Okay, I'm just those are two different things that are happening.
Yeah, I caught that.
Okay. No, like, Boosh is fine with me as long as. I mean, I showed up with the thing he wanted.
Ah, he likes you now. Got it. Well, then we should take advantage of the window.
You are an odd duck, but yeah, let's. Are the rest of you coming too, or are you gonna stay with Mr. Screamy over there? And how long is that detect? Oh, in common he yells, "I heard that!" and continues ranting, although albeit everything popped. That was weird.
Skype had a moment.
Discord, you mean?
No, this is Skype.
No Skype.
Oh, that's right.
It's okay. It's hard to keep it straight. Keeps flipping back and forth on you.
Comprehend languages lasts an hour. I think that's what you had just asked.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. He says, "I heard that" in common, and then continues his rant, albeit quieter.
As we pass that office, is it one of the names that I had picked out?
Do you mean the cubicle with the cursing gnome?
Yes.
There is not a nameplate near that. These are all workstations that seem to be shared. They're not offices.
Okay.
But you do see a two gnomes, apparently a male and a female, or at least one wearing pants and one wearing a skirt, and one cleaning up and one ranting while writing on a tall stool, because that is not embarrassing at all. At the end, at the closed door, Boosh, however, is the researcher that you had identified as one of the people that you wanted to meet and talk to. And Habit, I almost said Tuesday. That's not what happened.
How
Habit
dare
taps
you.
on the door and sticks his head in and says, Mr. Boosh. And that is where we're going to pause for a bio break. Give me a second to create some characters. If you're enjoying this entirely improv session, I'd love a like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. We talked about the links. Thank you so much for watching our Starfall game, and we'll be back in just a hot little second. Hit the next button. But until we see you again, have a good game.